Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nurfaita binti Abdurrahman. I am a new account executive of Telekom Malaysia Berhad. In this presentation, I'm going to explain about the background of company, factor of segment reporting, types of segment of TM Berhad, who is the chief of the operating decision maker, and their responsibilities, advantages and disadvantages of segment reporting. Company background of Telekom Malaysia Berhad is a Malaysian telecommunication company founded in 1984. TM Berhad is Malaysia's leading integrated telco and country's national connectivity and digital infrastructure provider. TM sets to enable digital Malaysia by offering a comprehensive suite of communication services and solutions in fixed telephony and broadband, mobility, contact, Wi-Fi, cloud, data center, digital security, IoT, and smart services. It operates through the following segments, which are TM Global, TM1, Unify, and Unify Business. On 31st December 2021, TM Berhad earned revenue of 11.53 billion ringgit Malaysia, where they recorded 6.4% rise from the year of 2020. TM remains committed to serve a more digital lifestyle and society, digital businesses, and digital government towards making to shape a digital Malaysia through technology that empowers communities, businesses, and government. They believe the future belongs to everyone, so they provide access to every corner of Malaysia. There are some factors to consider when having segment reporting. First is the nature of products or services. TM Berhad is engaged in the establishment, maintenance and provision of telecommunications and related services. The second is the nature of production process. TM Berhad is the national connectivity and digital infrastructure provider and manages leading integrated telco set to enable digital national by offering a comprehensive suite of communication services and solutions in space. For the type of customer for the product of services, TM Berhad provides wide range of telecommunication services and telecommunication solutions to households, individuals, small and medium business corporate, small medium enterprise or SME companies, government company, domestic and international carriers. And last is distribution method of the products or services. TM Berhad has collaborated with 9 tower providers or tower cos. The collaboration allowed the high-speed fiber optic network connect to towers and enabling high-quality network performance and capability. These are the chief operating decision maker in Telekom Malaysia Berhad. Tan Sri Muhammad Azlan Hashim, who was appointed non-independent non-executive chairman of TM on 1st August 2021. Next is Dato' Imri Mokhtar, is Managing Director or Group Chief Executive Officer who was appointed on 1st August 2020. Next is Dato' Anis Rizana binti Muhammad Zainuddin, who was appointed Non-Independent Non-Executive Director of TM on 1st July 2020. Tengku Afrida Teku Dato' A. Malik, who was appointed Senior Independent Director of TM on 25th May 2016. There are several responsibilities of Chief Operating Decision Making. There are 3 main purposes, which are direction, focuses on business transformation and performance of segment. For example, the group's business direction focuses on business transformation and performance improvements, which will place TM as the national service provider that is powering the nation towards digital Malaysia. Next is CODM must make a decision on the segment's resources allocation. CODM need to identify the plans and budgets that support the company's long-term strategy and vision that lead to the creation of shareholder value. Furthermore, the CODM are responsible to achieve the company's financial and operational goals and objectives, maintain a satisfactory competitive position within its industry, and ensure continuous improvement in the quality and value of the products and services provided by the company. The last is to identify the main risk in the business. They need to ensure the implementation of appropriate system to manage this risk in the processes of identifying, evaluating, monitoring significant financial and non-financial risks.
Hello everyone, my name is Farah Sakinah binti Muhammad Saleh, and this is my part where I will show you the segment reporting for Telekom Malaysia Berhad. Okay, for segment reporting, first we have to identify the reportable segment and the non-reportable segment. To identify the reportable and non-reportable segment, the segment must be exceed quantitative threshold. Some segment that can be combined if the operating segment meets certain conditions in MFRS 8 operating segment. There are two types of threshold tests, which is the 10% threshold and the 75% rule, which is the minimum number of reportable segment. These are the reporting segment on Telekom Malaysia Berhad. This one we will try to identify the reportable segment using the 10% threshold test. By using the revenue threshold test, in this pie chart shows that the percentage of revenue that each segment contributed to the total revenue for the financial year ended 31st December 2021 shows that only 3 out of 4 segments are reportable segment, which is segment for Unify, TM Wholesales and TM1, while the non-reportable segment is shared services or others. For the operating profit test using the 10% threshold, we can see also Unify, TM Wholesales and TM1 are the reportable segments. For Unify, we can see 42%, for TM Wholesales is 22%, and for TM1 is 31%. This chart actually shows the different segments that contribute for the operating profit for us to be able to identify which one is a reportable segment. This one is based on identifiable asset test. Here we can see a screenshot of the financial year ended 31st December 2021. It shows the capital expenditure additions during the financial year, which is this. And based on that amount, we can see on this chart shows that the breakdown of the total identifiable asset in 2021 for the 4 segments, only Unify, TM1 and shared services are reportable segments for that year if we use identifiable asset test on the 10% threshold test. This if we use the minimum number of reportable segment, which is the 75% rule. We can see here, based on the amount from Unify, TM1, TM Wholesales and shared services, the amount that we get is 94%. Hence, the Telekom Malaysia surpasses the requirement for the minimum number of reportable segments. Under Telekom Malaysia Berhad, there are 4 types of segments. The first one is Unify, second one is TM1, third one is TM Wholesales, and the fourth one is shared services or others. Unify is the retail that they usually offers to households, individuals and small medium companies. For TM1, they provide to wide range of telecom services, more like Celcom or DG and Maxis. They also provide for SMEs, for corporate and also government customer. For TM Wholesales, this one is a subsidiaries that complement the wholesale business. This TM Wholesale is actually delivers a range of wholesale telecom services to domestic and international carrier, which we can use their SIM card. If you know, they call it the Unified Mobile, which is we can use to call and message to domestic and the international carriers that we have. For shared services and others, it actually includes all the services divisions that have a small part in this segment. For these services, usually they give the opportunity to other companies, other telecom service like Maxis Home, which they actually use Telekom Malaysia Berhad service to get the connection from TM to be used by Maxis customer. Here shows the capital expenditure and the significant non-cash expenses for Telekom Malaysia Berhad. The capital expenditure is additions to the PPE, the intangibles, and the ROU asset. It's also included the addition from the subsidiaries acquisition. For the significant non-cash expenses, this one is allowance for receivable impairment and the foreign exchange gains or loss. This one we can actually refer to the note 6B in their financial statement. This is their financial segmental reporting for the year 2021. Here we can see both from the all the segments, all the 5 segments, which is from the Unify, the TM1, the TM Wholesales, and the shared services or others. For this one, we can see the inter-segment operation revenue. This one is actually referred to the this one is actually referred to the inter-segment. This one, internet segment. Here we can see the internet segment for Unify, for TM1, TM Wholesales, and shared services. This one is notes for the shared services or others. This one, corporate expenses such as those from finance or procurement are considered non-operating segments and reported under shared services or others. And this one is referred to the Unified. The financial information for the Unified segment now includes that of WB Digital, that it's a subsidiaries as disclosed in their list of subsidiaries in note number 27 of their financial statement, which is the list of all the subsidiaries. One of them is Khazanah Negara and Maybank. This one is a segment reporting by geographical location. You can see that they have Malaysia, and they also have other countries, not just Malaysia. Telekom Malaysia Berhad actually operates in multiple countries that you can actually refer to the notes 54 in their financial statement. Not only in Malaysia, the reported financial statements also reported the overseas. Their sales are based on actually where the customer located, and the assets, also the capital expenditure based on their assets based on where their assets are located. All their overseas operations are not separated because no individual country contributed more than 10% of the revenue or the asset. Only Malaysia contributes more than 10%. That's all I have. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.
The advantages of reporting segments are create better decision making. Segment reporting will have the CODM in Telekom Berhad to make decisions in allocating the company resources. This is because each segment shows its own profit and performance. Net is to analyzing company's performance. First segment report shows one operating segment that will contribute more performance of the company. The third is the investors will have clear view of the future investment. Shareholders will be aware of the situation of the company since the segmental report showed the details and perspective that they are being taken into consideration by making the decision. It will indicate their interest to make new progress for the company. The disadvantages of reporting segments are misleading and difficulty in understanding about segment report by the external users. Segment information is made through the eyes of the management and often make arbitrary judgment to the developed, such as segment data for internet. Net is the result of segment report presented to external users could lead to competitive damage. This is when the confidential information could be revealed to external users such as profitable or unprofitable products, weaknesses of the product that might induce the competitor to take the pre-advantage of the weaknesses. The third is lack of relevance of segment results due to shorter period. The relevance of segment results become less precise, leading to inaccurate decision-making estimates and judgment based on the segment report may not be accurate for decisions regarding the company due to shorter period.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurunara binti Ahmad Kamil. I'm presenting the interim report for the Telekom Malaysia Berhad. So type of interim report, the Telekom Malaysia Berhad is by integral method whereby the statement is released or presented by quarterly. And on 25th November 2021, the Board of Directors decided to release unaudited financial result by third quarter that ended on 30 September of 2021. So basically, basic preparation of interim report quarterly by quarterly. So here are the sample of the group quarterly financial performance. And then accounting policy of interim report itself are based on amendment that to publish standard on interest rate benchmark reform on MFRS 9 financial instrument, MFRS 139 on financial instrument recognition and measurement. MFRS 7 is for financial instrument disclosure, and MFRS 16 is leases. So Telekom Malaysia Berhad also do the amendment on MFRS 16 leases due to COVID-19 rent concession. These are the amendments that to publish that have been issued, not yet effective, and have not adopted in the group and the company of the Telekom Malaysia Berhad. So basically, Telekom Malaysia Berhad prepare the statement for the year ended 31st December 2021, and the financial statement comparative based on yearly and by the group within the group and the company itself. Here's are the sample of the statement of comprehensive income, and these are the sample of the statement of financial position. And then these are the sample of consolidated statement of the changes in equity. And here are the sample of a statement of cash flows. So basically, the purpose to do adjustment is based on fair value interest rate swap, IRS. Is for the fair value of financial instrument that are not traded in the active market is determined by using valuation technique. The selection of the variety of valuation method and make assumption that they are mainly based on market condition existing at the end of the reporting report. So fair value is a present value of the future cash flow, and the group estimate that the fair value of the reporting date of certain equity investment at FVOCI and the investment at FVOCI that are not traded in the active market by using the net tangible asset and discounted cash flow method respectively. In estimating for the fair value of the redemption amount to put option in the medium terms, they are exchangeable with share of subsidiary. The group itself has been used valuation model in the projecting and expected share price utilize comparable discount and growth rates reflective in the market condition specific to relevant industry that existing in the market. Although the group and the company believe that the estimated of fair value are appropriate, the using of assumption or using the any different of valuation method, this is could lead to the different measurement of fair value, and then the fair value existing rate swap rise from the changes in the present value of the respective future cash flow that will against the prevailing market interest rate. So the fair value of existing forward foreign exchange component that comparing forward exchange rate at the balance sheet date against the prevailing foreign exchange rate. So basically the mark to the market IRS is positive when the expectation is of relevant to future interest rate increase or otherwise. So foreign currency, there is a functional and a presentation of currency, and then transaction and balance, and by the group of company. So basically functional and presentation currency, the item that include of the financial statements of each group is measured using the currency primary environment, which is the entity operators. The consolidated finance statement are presented in Ringgit Malaysia, which is the company functional and presentation currency. So the transaction and balance, foreign currency transaction are translated into a functional currency using the exchange rates prevailing at the date of the transaction. Foreign exchange gain and losses resulting from the settlement, such as transaction and the translation at year and exchange rate, the monetary asset and liability that we recognize in the income statement, except except when when deferred into comprehensive income that as qualifying as cash flow hence. Group companies is the result and the financial position of the group entitles that have functional currency different from the presentation currency that are translated into a presentation currency based on asset and liability, which is presented in statement of financial position, and then will be presented on income and expenses for each income statement, and also resulting exchange differences are recognized as a separate component in other comprehensive income. On consolidation, exchange difference arise from the translation of the net investment to foreign operation or taken to other comprehensive income. When a foreign operation is disposed of or sold, such exchange differences that are recorded in equity, it will recognize in income statement as part of gain or losses on disposal. I think that is my presentation. Thank you.